Voidspark. Episode 1. The Shadow. Jade stood at the corner of Wren and Harker and let the city wash over her the way it always did. The towers went up so high you lost them in the haze, and down at street level the neon made everything the wrong color. Blue skin, green teeth. The hum of the generators came up through the sidewalk and into her feet, constant as a pulse. Someone else's prosperity washing over streets that never quite dried. You got used to it. Everyone did. That was the first thing that went wrong with you. The stories were everywhere if you listened. A boy told his mother he dreamed about something in his window. He said it did not have a face, but it was looking at him anyway. At night he stood at that window and stared into the city like he was waiting for it to come back. A man walking his dog stopped beneath a streetlight and stared up at the trees lining Leto Avenue. The branches had bent overnight, not broken, bent, into shapes that looked deliberate. His dog wouldn't walk under them. People told these stories quietly, then they stopped telling them at all. Jade was waiting outside Cassie's store when she saw the man. He came down the sidewalk the way a puppet moves when half its strings are cut. One shoulder dropping, feet landing wrong, eyes fixed on something no one else could see. People stepped around him without looking. The way you step around a puddle, the way you pretend a thing isn't happening so it won't happen to you. Something in her stomach turned over. Jade watched him until he turned the corner and was gone. Then she kept watching the place where he'd been. She'd been noticing things like this for weeks now, small wrongnesses. And every time her mind went to the same place, that alleyway Cassie kept bringing up, the one near the Vale Star building. Cassie came out of the store and crossed the street, and for a moment neither of them said anything. They just stood there, watching the city go by. Jade pointed with her chin toward the corner where the man had disappeared. "What do you think is happening?" Cassie bit her lip. "No idea, but I could have sworn I saw a shadow that shouldn't have been there when I walked into the store this morning. I couldn't move, Jade. Not wouldn't. Couldn't. Like my feet decided for me." She swallowed, and then it was gone. I felt stupid. Something in her voice was different today. Tighter. Like she had been carrying this around for hours and it was getting heavier. Cassie glanced over both shoulders. Leaned in. "It's not just the way people are acting. People are." She stopped. For a second, Jade thought she wasn't going to finish. "Going missing?" "Cassie." "I don't know, Jade." She rubbed her arms like she was cold. "I can't stop thinking about that shadow." She was quiet for a moment. It looked like 3 arms with claws just floating there. Something tightened at the base of Jade's skull. Not pain. Direction. "We need to find out more." Cassie studied Jade's face for a moment. Whatever she found there, it was enough. "Look, I've been keeping a list, places where things happened. Dates, if I could get them. Let me grab it." She ducked back into the store. Jade followed her in. The wind caught the door and held it. She had to lean her weight into it before it shut. Inside, the air was different, warm and close. Jade could smell the coffee that had been sitting on the burner too long, the old papers on the counter. It felt like a place that had been there long enough to settle into itself. Cassie came back with a crumpled piece of paper, locations in messy handwriting, some circled, some crossed out. She pointed at the list. "Some of these places come up more than once." Jade took the list. While she read, she noticed Cassie rubbing the stump where her left pinky used to be. She had noticed since the day they met and had never once asked, and Cassie had never once offered, and somewhere along the way the not asking had become its own kind of conversation. Cassie caught her looking and didn't stop rubbing. Jade looked back at the list. One address kept coming up. "The alleyway, near the Vale Star building. You've got it marked 5 times. Cassie nodded as she started moving towards the counter. "It's the same spot that guy was killed in last year." Jade folded the list and put it in her pocket. "It's too far to walk, but that's where we start." She said it, and something shifted behind her eyes. That feeling again, the tightness at the base of her skull. Except now it pulled in a specific direction, like standing on a slope and feeling gravity tell you which way to go. Cassie's eyebrows went up. You're really serious about this? You're the one keeping lists. Yeah, but I'm weird like that. Cassie let out a breath. I'm scared, too. But we go during the day, we stay together, we leave if anything feels wrong. Why do people always think daylight makes scary places less scary? Cassie almost laughed. Because it's a cliché, and clichés exist for a reason. The terrible stuff always happens at night. That's not as reassuring as you think it is. Yeah, Cassie said. I know. Tell me more about this alleyway. Cassie crossed her arms like she was holding herself together. The news said the guy was being displayed. She swallowed. And there's still a stain on the pavement. A year later, they tried to clean it. Couldn't get it all. Neither of them said anything for a moment. The fluorescent light above the counter buzzed. All right, let's check it out tomorrow. Cassie held her gaze, and something passed between them. I should head out, Jade said. I've got client work tonight, logo designs that were due yesterday. She made a face, the usual. Yeah, I've got a mountain of invoices pretending I don't exist. Adulting. Cassie half smiled. It was the smile they used when they were both pretending the conversation they'd just had was the kind you walk away from. Jade reached out and took Cassie's hand. They held on for a moment. Cassie's grip tightened, just slightly, just enough to feel, before she let go. Then Jade walked back out onto the sidewalk. None of this made any sense. An artist and a store owner chasing shadows. The first drop of rain landed on her nose as she turned the corner toward her building. Then another. It was subtle, so subtle she almost missed it. A drag, a lean, a faint pull to the left, toward the east side of the city. She couldn't see the alley from here. She couldn't see anything through the downpour, but streaked neon and the blurred shapes of buildings. But something over there could see her. She was suddenly absolutely certain of that. Jade turned, walked home, locked her door, and didn't look east again. Not that night.